Back now on Triad Today. If you watch the show regularly, and shame on you if you don't, we have approached the subject of safety in many ways. Bike safety, motorcycle safety, car safety, pedestrian safety. And you really can't do enough of that. And what we're going to do is not only go over some ground that maybe you might have heard before, but more importantly, talk about some new bicycle laws that are into effect. And we want to do that with three very special guests. On my right, David Daggett, of course, attorney with Daggett Shuler. Next to him is Sergeant Todd Collins. He's a first-time visitor to the show. He's with the Winston-Salem Police Department. And next to him, our good buddy Griff Shuler, also an attorney with Daggett Shuler. Welcome, guys. Good to see you.
Thanks, Jim.
David, let me start with you. You recently published a book, which I thought, I'm not just saying this because you're here in front of me, but I was really impressed with this. It's an e-book. So you go online to the website, and it's to the Daggett Shuler website, right?
You can reach it through the Daggett Shuler website. That's correct.
And why did you do it, and what's it about?
Well, did a short little e-book on new bicycle safety laws that goes over both the rights and the responsibilities of bicyclists on the road. The reason I wrote it is because, honestly, most civilians aren't real fluent on the intricacies of what the laws are.
Whether you ride or not.
Whether you ride or not. So sometimes bicyclists get mad at motorists, or motorists get mad at bicyclists, and neither one knows what they're talking about.
Yeah.
So in my book, it's very, very short, very, very easy to read.
Yeah.
And we made it available free. It's free through Amazon. There's a link to that on our website. But it's a free ebook that just briefly explains the new laws, the rights and responsibilities.
In just a second, I'm going to go over with a couple of those with the sergeant, but I want to go to Griff first. How does this, and I guess it does, I'm presuming, ties in with the mission for Daggett Shuler overall too, right, Griff?
Well, absolutely, because at Daggett Shuler, unfortunately, we see the aftermath of what happens when the laws are broken or the laws and the rules of the road are not followed. And we see the serious injuries and deaths that come from these types of accidents that can happen where it's a car and a bicycle. And so if you see that kind of result and you see the tragedy to the families, you want to do everything you can to try to stop that before it happens.
Absolutely. Now, Sarge, let me go to you, and I want to cherry pick some things out of David's book and just hit you with them. We hadn't rehearsed this because you and I never met until just now, but I want to get your thoughts on this. David writes about something called the 4-foot rule. What does that mean?
Basically, the 4-foot rule is the amount of clearance a motorist has to give a bicyclist when passing in a no passing zone. Prior to October 2016, it was a 2-foot rule, but now the motorist has to give the bicyclist at least 4 foot of clearance while passing on the left of the cyclist.
There's another one that he has in his book called visibility requirements. What's that about?
Prior to October 2016, a cyclist was only required to have a front headlamp on their bike, in addition to a reflector on the rear. With the new legislation set in place, a bicyclist has to have a light on the front and the rear of the bicycle and visible at least 300 feet from the rear of the bicycle.
It used to be a reflector 250 feet.
Correct.
Yeah.
Now it's a lighted light 300 feet. Much safer.
No offense, but those reflectors weren't always that great. And now I think it's important. David, you mentioned something there, I think. You mentioned something about being a bike safety ambassador. What does that mean?
Well, what that means is everybody that rides a bicycle needs to be an ambassador to the motoring public. That a motorist going down the road, their impression of a bicyclist is whoever the last bicyclist they saw. So if there's a rude bicyclist going down the road, the next bicyclist is the one who takes the wrath of the motorist. And the same goes both ways. But I think it's incumbent on bicyclists to be a good ambassador, to follow laws, to stop at stoplights, stop at stop signs, and be courteous and help motorists.
Absolutely.
Jim, I think one of the great things about David's ebook is it's written from the perspective of giving both car drivers as well as cyclists the information they need to be safe.
Absolutely, and up on the screen is the website, and you've already seen some screenshots of the book, DaggettShulerLaw.com, also 336 area code 724-1234. I just think it's great, and I'm glad that you guys did this, and I appreciate you coming. Sarge, come back sometime.
And a quick thanks to the Winston-Salem Police Department. They do a great job.
Absolutely, they do. And do you have a rank? He's sergeant. What are you and Griff?
I'm peon.
All right. There's a joke there somewhere, but I'm not going to. All right, we'll be right back after this.